The disappearance of Dannette and Jeannette Millbrook is a story that has been haunting for years. It is a decades-old case that highlights systemic issues in missing persons investigations in minority cases. On March 18, 1990, the 15-year-old twin sisters from Augusta, Georgia, vanished without a trace. That Sunday morning, the sisters attended church, then returned home, later asking their mother, Mary Louise Sturgis, for the bus fare to visit their godfather for food money. After visiting him, they stopped at their older sister's apartment and a local gas station. They were last seen buying chips and soda at a pump and shop gas station on the corner of 12th Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard around 4:30 p.m. In the initial days of the investigation, police treated the twins as runaways rather than potential victims, completely dismissing their mother's concerns. Despite her insistence that the girls having no history of running away and were devoted to their family, particularly to their younger siblings, the case was given little attention. Compounding matters, the case file was inexplicably closed. Critical evidence was lost or never collected, including potential sightings and leads. The Millbrook sisters came from a low-income, African-American family. Advocates have long criticized the lack of urgency and resources devoted to their case. It wasn't until 2013 that renewed interest surfaced when the Fall Line podcast covered the case, bringing national attention to the many lapses in the investigation. This exposure led the Richmond County Sheriff's Office to reopen the case in 2017. But progress has been slow due to the decades-long gap and missing records. Speculations range from abduction to foul play, even pointing to a possible connection to serial killers active in the area during the 1990s. The van or the man in it was never identified or tracked down. In the same area that the girls went missing from or were taken away lived a serial killer by the name of Joseph Patrick Washington. He lived in Hale Street near the pump and shop where the girls were last seen and would be seen on the Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, actively attacking women in the early 1990s around the same time that the girls went missing. Known to pick up women at gunpoint, take them to another location, sexually assault and sometimes murder them. He was arrested in 1993, when the twins were already declared runaways and their case was closed. Police never connected him. Washington had killed 2 women and possibly a third and was arrested in 1993 but died in 1999. John Millbrook, the twins' father, described by their mother as a violent and cruel man, leading to their separation out of concern for the girls' safety. Though he played little role in their upbringing, investigators suspect he may be connected to their disappearance. Laura Norton and Brooke Hargrove, podcasters, uncovered a lead: Ernest Vaughns, an inmate serving a life sentence for murder. Vaughns submitted a letter with potential information about the case to Richmond County Sheriff's Office years ago, never got a response. He claimed the twins had gone to their father's drug-dealing house on 3rd Street. John Millbrook was a crack addict and had loaned out the home to drug dealers in exchange for crack. The girls were reportedly forced to smoke marijuana and drink. One of the girls was then sexually assaulted and the other suffered a fatal injury trying to intervene. Vaughns, an eyewitness at 12 years old, identified men nicknamed Lil Cheese and Oodle Boy. Oodle Boy owned a white van, and suggested the Mary Brothers Brickyard as a possible dump site. Detective Jim Shipp had them picked as runaways and shut out the family from any information regarding the case. He confirmed that he called the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and told them they had found the twins, based on hearsay. Coates was quoted saying, he said, "If you find 2 dead twins, you let me know." There was no investigation from Detective Shipp. He said that the girls were known and that he had thought the mother's IQ was the problem, so he hadn't updated her. Shanta Sturgis, the twin sister, reveals to the documentary investigators that Vaughns had told his daughter April the investigators had told him to tell them that he had made it all up. Their sister said that the family had known Lil Cheese as a known drug dealer since they were kids. Sergeant Christopher Langford and Detective Lucas Grant speak to Vaughn's in prison but conclude that he was talking about a different double murder. Detective Grant did not come to the meeting. The department decides that there was no reason to pursue the lead, causing doubt to the information given to investigators. The disappearance of Dannette and Jeannette Millbrook remains unsolved. A poignant reminder of how marginalized communities often face significant barriers in finding justice for their missing loved ones.